Hello beauties, hope you're doing amazing. As you can see, I have selected for you all some Valentine's pink shadows. I specifically only decided to do pink because I have done reds for Christmas. So if you want to see some red special shades, I'll tag my Christmas selection in the description box below and on the screen, but these are special shadows with a pink shift. If that sounds good, let's jump into the video. Okay friends, I'm gonna swatch these shadows on the back of my hand. This is our first shade, Enchantment from Copacetic. This is a flaky that shifts pink to gold and orange. And I highly recommend you put it on top of a tacky base. I have already primed my hand with Base Booster from BH Cosmetics. So let's do it. Beauties, if you're using these flakies, keep in mind that they could enhance the texture on your eyes. So as you can see, this color has a very mild, I want to say grayish greenish base with a pink metallic shift on top that goes in some angles into orange and in some angles into gold. And from some angles, depending on how the light is reflecting on it, it even looks silver. Beauties, I tried to use a variety of different brands in this selection so that you can kind of see different brands in action also. Our next single is an iridescent multichrome called Halo of Stars from Terra Moons. This one has a beautiful, beautiful pink shift. And it looks so vibrant and bright that honestly it kind of looks like metal swatched on your hand. So from some angles, there is a magenta shift going into a pink shift, going into a red and bronze shift. And you do see a little bit of like a green shift in the shade, but it's so, so, so beautiful. And then I think you might be able to see what I'm seeing, which is the reflection of the color, or I think this metal on the shade itself gives kind of a halo of yellow or gold. You see that? So beautiful. Let's go into our next special shade. This one is Fancy Hollow from Glam Shop. As you can see, this is sort of a holographic mixed with a marbled shade. So this kind of gives you a holographic effect with a hint of pink. It's so beautiful. You can definitely use this on your eyes for a very interesting Valentine's eye look. And these holographic shades from Glam Shop are definitely holographic, so don't sleep on them if you're interested in holographic shades. So you can definitely see the hint of pink and then the holographicness as I'm moving my hand. Okay, beauties, our next beautiful shade that has a pink shift is this beauty. This is Come and Get It from Touch of Glam. I have shown many different shades from this exact collection from Touch of Glam. This is a metallic multichrome collection. I think it was like a birthday collection or something like that. Such a beautiful collection, and I love the shades in this collection. And this is the one that has a shift of magenta pink going into a gold and kind of a mild green from some angles. This is such a pretty shade if you want to make a Valentine's-y look that has a pink shift. The shades in this collection are pretty flaky, so it might be a better idea to use it over a tacky base. You should be able to see the magenta to a purple shift, going to a gold, going to kind of a bronze, and even a hint of green. And this one does have a dark undertone, but it's not exactly a black base color. Beauties, our next shade is new to my collection. It is this beauty, Amphitrite from Divina Cosmetics. A lot of you told me I definitely need to have this. This is from Sea of Shadows, but you can buy all the colors in Sea of Shadows as singles, which is why we're representing them. I didn't want to talk about any color that came in a palette because it makes no sense to talk about colors in palettes if you can't either get your hands on the palette or if it requires you to go buy a palette for that one color. Otherwise, there are a lot of palettes that have very nice, shifty, Valentinesy single shades. This one is a pink undertone that has a gold to a green shift on top. And the shifts are super, super bright and beautiful. It even looks kind of bronze from some angles. And the color itself looks like it's made up of tiny, tiny glitter particles. But again, beauties, just reminding you all, if you're new to my channel, I never use unsafe glitters. If I talk about glitters, these are sort of mineral-based, mica-based glitters, and they're not unsafe for the eyes. Such a beautiful shade, and I highly recommend it for Valentine's Day if you want to either rock a single shade look or use it across the lid with some other more deeper, maybe burgundy or even other tones that might complement this shade, like blue, for example. Our next shade is another shade from Terra Moons. This is Hyperspace. So I was thinking about maybe doing a more vampy, anti-Valentine sort of a look where you want to take it very dark, but still have that pink magenta shift in the look. And this shade is an ideal shade for that. As you can see, this has a black base, but then it has a beautiful glaze on top that goes magenta, very, very beautiful magenta to red to bronze. And this is a great, great shade for someone who wants to do a smoky look with a shift of these colors for Valentine's Day. Maybe I can do a look and post it on Instagram for you all. If you all want to see that, write it in the comments below. Beauties, our next shade is from Luxie Beauty. This is one of those pink shades that has a shift of magenta purple all the way to pink to kind of red, and from some angles you can even catch some gold. It's such a beautiful shade, and honestly, it's one of those shades that I can't believe I bought for $2.50 from Luxie Beauty. Beauties, our next shade is this one. This is 207 from Bernovich. This one is such a beautiful romantic shimmer that is cream color like you see in the pan with a hint of pink, very light pink from some angles. It's an ideal shade for either a very subtle romantic look. You can combine it with neutral colors, even in the inner corner. That subtle pink peachy shift adds a very interesting element of surprise to the shade for a very beautiful and romantic look. So appropriate for Valentine's Day, which is why I really wanted to talk about this one. And before I swatch for you all our last shade, I wanted to talk about 3 shades that I have put in this palette, but I've swatched in other videos. So I'm going to show them to you, but I'm not going to swatch them. I'm going to link the videos where I've swatched them on the screen and in the description below if you want to check those videos out. And I highly recommend you check those videos out if you're interested in these kind of swatch videos. First one is Rosarium from the Earth Vibrant Multichromes collection of Cleona. This released as part of their advent calendar. So this is a very, very new shade to their collection. It has a shift of red to magenta pink. I know you can still purchase the advent calendar as a full bundle from Cliona. I don't know if you can purchase these shades as singles. I have a video of all the swatches on this that's on the screen, but if you can get your hands on it, I highly recommend this color for a very Valentine's-y look. Particularly, I love the super magenta shift. My next recommendation is Swindle, which is a marble shade from Glam Shop. I also swatched this in a video. I highly recommend this shade for Valentine's Day because the issue with marble shade is that they look amazing in the pan, but when you swirl the pan, they might turn into a color that you're not so interested in. But this color is one of those colors that would look amazing even swatched. And then my last recommendation that I'm not going to swatch before we get into my final recommended shade that I'm going to swatch for you all is this one. This is Obsession from Shine by SD's Fantasy 2.0 collection. I have a review of the first 4 shades released for this collection. I don't remember if I used this shade in a look or not, but I know for sure that I've swatched it in that video and I did in detail analysis and assessment of this collection. But this shade, as you can see on the screen, is so pink and magenta-y, and it looks absolutely gorgeous for a very Valentine's-y pink look. And beauties, the last recommended shade that I'm going to swatch for you all is this one. This is Solder from the Dimensional Multichrome collection of, as you can see, I mean, it's obvious when the pans are like this. This is from Cliona. Beauties, I've been trying to use the most unique pink shifts in my collection for this video, so I had to talk about this one. This one has a shift of magenta to bronze, and then from some angles you can see green, and it's so beautiful. It looks super dimensional, hence the name of the collection, and I kind of had to use it because it's not one of those shifts that I see very often. This texture is pretty unique in my collection. I don't think I have this exact kind of a shift anywhere in my collection. Definitely not this kind of texture because the dimensional multichromes are not super creamy. They're kind of flaky, as you can see. They also look like they have tiny glitter particles throughout. While neither of those are unique to my collection, having that combined with this exact kind of a shift is pretty unique to my collection. Also, the shifts are pretty diffused. I mean, the magenta is very obviously magenta, but it could have been much more bright. So definitely wanted to talk about it because this could also even be a one and done shade on the eye. Beauties, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That helps my channel a lot and recommends this video to other people who might find it interesting and want to watch it. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you like these kinds of videos. I have a whole playlist of recommending these kind of season appropriate singles to you all where I swatch the singles and talk about them. That playlist is going to show on the screen if you want to check it out. Have an amazing day, and until next time, bye.